This is the future access management. What are you going to do tomorrow?
That's right. That was you're taking my thunder there, Frank.
Sorry.
All right, first thing. There's a thumb drive that was in the committee meeting yesterday, a red one. If it's yours, it's going to sit right here. If it's not, it's going to continue to sit there. All right, so we made it to engagement 73. There's been 73 engagements throughout this conference. It's been great. And I want to first thank Mike and his team. So with all the conference planning committee stand up that's still here. I know they're out working and stuff. I know there's Mike and Brad and company. Thank you very much. They did a great job. This is one of the best conferences I think we've had in the 12 conferences to date. So we're looking forward to more of those in the future to come. So when you go home, remember when you see your spouse or your kids or your dog, you can say, they're going to say, what'd you learn the last 3 days? Well, the good thing is you at least met 2 people on Monday or on Tuesday. I'm hoping you've met a few more. I still gave you some encouragement to be active in the mornings, and unfortunately, every morning it was just myself and the 2 ladies from South Dakota, Brooke and Stacy. We were the only ones in the workout room every morning. So South Dakota must have really good workout skills within the DOT because they were there consistently. But we did meet each other, and now is for your last engagement activity. So we got 60 seconds. You're going to talk to your neighbor to the right, to the left. People on the walls, you can go into. But what I want you to do is, if you haven't met him, say hello, introduce yourself, but tell them the one thing you're going to do, back to Frank's element, in your next access management engagement, be it permitting, be it design, be it planning. So we're going to take 60 seconds and tell them what you're going to do, and then write it down, and then we'll go from there. All right, we'll wrap up here in about 15 seconds. All right, let's wrap up. Unfortunately, some of you now know 4 people that you didn't know when you started, so that's great. That's great. Any real unique things that you heard that somebody's going to do from an engagement? What's the best thing somebody heard? Any good examples out there? Read the Cosmo? All right, there we'll go with that. We'll go with that. All right, a few final engagement things. So pick up your pen. You should have a pen in front of you. So 2 things I'd like you to do. One is write down mytrb.org, O-R-G, so MYTRB. And if you go to there, you can sign up as a friend to the TRB Access Management Committee. That will get you on our email list, and we'll let you know when we have our mid-year meetings, our annual meetings, and then there's 1 or 2 announcements through the year, so it's not going to flood your inbox, but it's a good way to, in contact. You can also use that portal to contact the committee members, myself, throughout the time. And if you ever have questions, send them my way, send them to a committee member's way, and we'll hope to help you out. We actually had a gentleman asked here a few months ago from one of the DOTs, how do you solve this? And I queried the committee, and we had about 15 answers really well. And the good thing is they were all in the same genre, so they didn't contradict each other. But we will try our best to get back to you with some of that information. So if you're trying to find a research document, do that. The other thing is remind yourself, if you don't have this in your office, is to go back and order yourself an access management manual and an access management application guide, those green and blue documents that you saw. They're great resources. Back to the point that Christine brought up, it's all about education, and that's the first point. Those 2 documents, they give you 90% or more of what you need in practicing access management. All right, so with that, I think I've got through all my engagements. One other activity for your pen is either to write the website that you see up there or fill out the conference comment form. This helps us as we start to prepare for more than likely Boston in 2021. For our next annual conference, this helps us set those sessions up. I've heard some good feedback during lunch the last few days. But please write that down. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mike here in a second, but I'd like to thank you again on behalf of Transportation Research Board and the Access Management Committee for taking time out of your week. I know it's not easy. Those emails are stacking up, the work's stacking up, but to take the time to travel here to Madison, it's been great. I don't know how many hit the trifecta of going to both terraces and also the square last night. I was fortunate to make all 3, but if you haven't and you have some time and you've only been to one terrace, try out the other terrace or vice versa, and the square. I think it's been great. So with that, Mike, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, we're all going to be on our way here soon. I wanted to give one more round of applause for all the committee members, all the speakers, the posters, the people that are doing the recordings and the camera. Everybody's telling me how great this was. I want you to know it had very little to do with me. All the committee members, you already saw that the planning committee stood up, but there's so many other people. I'm old school. Tell someone thanks, it goes a million miles, right? So if you see these folks, hey, great conference. You're probably already doing that. I don't know. You're telling me, but tell them. Let's give a round of applause for all the other people here. One last thing I want to encourage everybody. Correct me if I'm wrong, Frank. These presentations are going to be on YouTube's. And so figure that out. You know, I'm not real IT savvy, but figure it out so you can get those to help you bring back the energy, the excitement to your organizations, your consultant firms. Pick just a couple that you really jot a lot of notes on and share it with with the folks in your organization. So thank you all for coming, and we'll see you in 3 years.